The presidential candidates offered similar visions of the U.S. role in global affairs during their final debate.
America remains the one indispensable nation. And the world needs a strong America, and it is stronger now than when I came into office.
We recognize that there are places of conflict in the world. We want to end those conflicts to the extent humanly possible. But in order to be able to fulfill our role in the world, America must be strong.
The U.S. might look more militaristic under Mr. Romney, says Daniel Serwer of the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies in Washington.
He's made it clear that projection of strength would be a real priority. And one of the fundamental differences between the two candidates is the degree to which they're willing to continue funding defense buildup.
Mr. Romney has pledged to increase defense spending if elected. But he agrees with Mr. Obama on plans to withdraw U.S. combat troops from Afghanistan by the end of 2014.
Angle the Vic North!
They also agree on the use of sanctions to prevent Iran from pursuing a nuclear weapon, and they say military strikes remain an option to counter that threat. Both have pledged to support Israel if it is attacked. Mr. Romney has said, if elected, his first foreign trip would be to Israel. He suggested Mr. Obama has alienated the Jewish state.
You went to the Middle East and you flew to Egypt and to Saudi Arabia and to Turkey and Iraq. And by the way, you skipped Israel, our closest friend in the region.
Mr. Obama countered that the debate was on the eve of the largest U.S. and Israeli military exercise in history. Overall, the candidates offer similar foreign policy proposals, says analyst Serwer.
Beyond rhetoric, I think the major difference is on this question of arms to the Syrian rebels.
Syrian security forces and opposition fighters have battled since the uprising against President Bashar al-Assad began in March of 2011. Mr. Romney favors providing weapons to the rebels.
And I want to make sure they get armed, and they have the arms necessary to defend themselves, but also to remove Assad. But I do not want to see a military involvement on the part of our troops.
President Obama offers a more cautious response.
For us to get more entangled militarily in Syria is a serious step, and we have to do so making absolutely certain that we know who we are helping, that we're not putting arms in the hands of folks who eventually could turn them against us or our allies in the region.
President Obama, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2009, will have a personal mission if he is re-elected, says political analyst Robert Gutman.
Yeah, he'll be looking for his legacy. It may not be the Middle East. It may be better relations with China. It'll be something.
China is on Mr. Romney's mind. He says he would designate China a currency manipulator, a label that could lead to sanctions. The Republican candidate's corporate background could influence his leadership, says Gutman.
He wants to expand American business. So I think he'd be more of a president, more involved with trade matters, more involved with business.
Many analysts say that despite the importance of America's role in the world, U.S. voters care more about domestic issues, such as the still recovering economy, than foreign policy plans. Suzanne Presto, VOA News, Washington.